My name is Letitia Note, and we have Tony over.
Innovation never sleeps. From Ghana to the world, the workday ends, but the momentum begins.
This is the forge for the next generation of global leaders.
Okay, I am checking the screen to make sure that our team members,
tech, engineering,
they are not what's it
arts,
called? You
math,
guys, I
bridging the
mentioned
gap.
everybody else listening. So we have
Welcome to
Mr.
Steam After
Achu here,
Hours.
we have Tony,
Today's engine is
we have
starting
Haruna.
now.
Okay, awesome. And so with that being said, I'm trying to
Invest
give
in the
me
future
like 2
today
minutes
and help
so I
us make a
can do a brief
difference. Learn
introduction
more at
about API, and then we
gyisf.org.
can start from there. So I'm going to share my screen and mm, 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 where is my screen? Okay, okay, so share. Okay, so what brought us here today is that we have an event coming up in July 11th, which is called Global Young Innovators Steam Fest. This is happening in Kibi, which is Chebi, also in the eastern region. And this event is to bring our community together through innovation, through workshops, through interactive games, and also exposing our youth to all the amazing things that is happening in Ghana and around the world. We have some professionals coming from the United States who also be in attendance. So it's going to be competition, live performance, interactive workshops, exhibition. So if you're a business, an individual that you want to have a table to showcase some of the stuff that you have been working on, you can have a table at our events. It's open to, you don't have to be affiliated with any school organization and all that stuff. Our competition right now is closed. We are on the second phase of it, and that one is due today. So we are not accepting any more competition. But if you have anything that you want to add to the day of events, you are welcome to. And on top of it, too, as you can see today, is the Steam After Hours, right? And so, with that being said, this is something that we are adding on to the Steam Fest, doing all these workshops, interactive workshops, as we are preparing for the Steam Fest, right? So it's open to anyone that want to enhance their skills and all that stuff. We have need for partnership. We have need for volunteers. We have need for almost anything, financial support to really keep this thing going, and even any advisors and stuff, people that want to even be on a panel or to speak during the event. All those things is here. Everything is free for the main event and stuff like that. And so, even if you're working professional or anybody that is an adult, that you have something to share with the youth, right? You can just submit that information here and we will get it going. So with that being said, that is just a little bit about EBI. So this event is powered by Expanding Boundaries International. And so our goal is to give our youth platform to showcase their work. And so in so doing, this Steam After Hours is set up for that. So I will stop here and then release it to Mr. Achu, who will be facilitating today's session. So, Mr. Achu, over to you.
All right. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Greetings to everyone from wherever you are watching us from. Um, my name is Mr. Chu Manfred, and then I'll be leading the team today. So let me see, Madam, I can share the screen.
Okay, hold on for me, please. Sorry. What did I do wrong? Okay. Can you request? Let me see. What does it say? Oh, let me stop sharing. Oh, what did I do? Okay. When you say share screen, what does it say? I want to
Uh,
know.
the hosts have to turn on the screen sharing.
Okay.
You have to
Yeah.
turn it on. Yeah.
Bonk. Hold up. I'm coming. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Let me see. It is not allowing me to adjust anything here. Let me see. Lock. Okay. Can you try again, please? Sorry about that. Did it work out?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead. Sorry, guys.
Okay. Uh, I hope all of you can hear me.
Yes.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, we can all hear you now. We can all hear you now. It's clear.
All right. Okay. So um, our NGO is Expanding Boundary International, and this evening we want to present to you STEM after hours on the topic. All right. So by the end of this session, together we will learn Excel basics. That is strong foundation. So we are going to build a strong foundation for in Excel so that we can use it to work anywhere we find ourselves. Also, we are going to use formulas to automate calculations so that we wait for just the user input, and anything that the user input, we will use it to do a dynamic or automatic calculations. We will also build a simple point of sales. Maybe you own a shop or something and you need to manage without using calculators and so on. You build something small for yourself. And then we will also create a chart based on the sales that we we have made for the day or for the month or any time that we want. So let's look at a brief introduction or history about Excel. We all know before modern spreadsheets like Microsoft Excel, people rely on paper ledgers and manual calculations, which were slow and prone to errors. Imagine you using a ledger doing your calculations. In case maybe you enter a wrong figure, there is either you cancel that or the whole page has spoiled and you have to start afresh. But Excel is not like that. So early tools like VisiCalc and Lotus 123 introduce digital spreadsheets to solve those issues of bookkeeping. But Excel made the biggest impact by making data entering, calculations, and chart creation faster and easier. Today, Excel has replaced manual bookkeeping in most workplaces, helping users work faster, also reducing mistakes and manage data more efficiently in businesses, education, health, and everyday life. Now, what then is Excel? What then is Excel? It's a spreadsheet tool that we can use to organize data. We can also use to perform calculations that save us a lot of time. In the only days that you'll be using calculators and then writing formulas for each grade of a student or something. This time around, with just one or two clicks, you are done with everything. Then we also, what is Excel again? It is also used to create charts. That is visual understanding. So Excel in real life. In real life, what are people or what are we using Excel for? One is business, that is sales tracking. When you are using Excel, you know the number of goods of a particular product that are selling more in your shop. And when the products are reducing because of Excel, automated Excel, you will be alert that this number or this product is reducing in the shop, which you need to top up. It can also give you a daily sale without hassle. Excel also is used in real life, which is education, let's say student grades. Also in the olden days where you have to use a report card or generate a report card for each student, after the exam and all those things, you have to take pen, paper, calculator, and begin to calculate grades for each student, which is also prone to error. But with Excel, it's very easy to do. Also, budgeting. Using Excel, we can use Excel to forecast budgets, track our expenses, and others. Also, data analysis. We can use Excel in data analysis, which maybe we do after census. We know the number of people in our community or country, and then we know the number of females, males, the age group, and others. That is data analysis that we can use Excel to do. Let's move on to the next thing. So why do we have to master Excel? Why do we have to master Excel? About 80% of skills jobs require spreadsheet proficiency, and it has dominated the market. All the that you go to, even it is some job requirements that you master some few computer skills such as Excel, Word, PowerPoint, Access, and others before they can employ you. So mastering Excel isn't just about mathematics. It is about being efficient with information. Now, the Excel. Excel, we can use Excel through our browsers, and we can also install it on our various or personal computers. So we have two types that we can use if you want to use the Excel. We have the web-based, that is Excel Online. This run in your browser, example Chrome, Edge, etc. So you don't need any installation on your computer before you can use it. You can access it anywhere just with the use of internet. And it is very easy sharing real-time collaboration. Maybe you are working with a company at home, you are working from home, and others are also working from home. So when you are using online Excel, it allows you to share whatever you are doing at a particular time to your company, and everyone can have access to it, and they can do whatever that they are supposed to do with it. So in case you want to use the online version, this link is there for you. You can just type this and then you have access to the online or the web version. We also have the stand-alone Excel. That is the desktop app or the one that we can install on our tablet, phones, and others. So this one, we need to install the software on our computer. Any type of computer you can install on it. So this gives you full functionality, all formulas, tools, charts, and you can work offline without any internet access. So this is how the Excel interface looks like. But before we move on, we have two aspects of our presentation. This is the theory aspect, and then we will pause there, or after the theory aspect, we will lay hands on the practical, and everyone will be able to practice what we have to do today. So this is sample of how the Excel interface looks like. So when you open your Excel, we have some few terminologies that are used in Excel. We are going to look at few of them. We have something we call workbook. So what is the workbook in Excel? An Excel file that contains one or more worksheets. So when we talk about workbook, it's like a notebook that we usually write our note inside. That is the whole or the entire note. And then when we talk about worksheet, it's a single page in a workbook made up of rows and columns. Our worksheet is the pages that we have in our notebooks where we can write things, different headings, and so on. So that is a workbook is the entire notebook, and then a worksheet is just a single page inside our workbook. Now, there is also something called column or columns. So what is a column? A series of vertical cells that runs from top to down and are labeled or identified by letters of the alphabet, such as A, B, C, D, AA, BA, SD, etc. So on the left side of the screen, we have parts of the interface labeled or colored blue. And as we can see, we have A on top. So from that top to the down is called column A, and then followed by column B. The red part is also colored with red, and then as we can see, that is column C, followed by column D. So a column is just a series of vertical cells that runs from the top to the down. There will be a time for questions. So let's continue. Now let's move to another part of the interface. That is rule or rules. A series of horizontal cells that runs from left to the right, and they are labeled or identified by numbers such as 1, 2, 3, 10, 100, 105, etc. We can have about 500,000 rules, and that can contain maybe entire citizens of Ghana or any other country. So Excel can keep record of all the people in the community and then all the people in the country. It has more space for that. So as we can see, it is much better than the olden papers that we can use to keep maybe record of employees and others. So we move on to look at one important part of the interface, that is cell. A cell. This is where all the magic happens. So a cell, that is where data lives. This is where the actual data lives, and information can be put in each cell. This is where we'll be doing our calculations. This is where we'll be writing our formulas. This is where we'll be getting all our answers. So this is a crucial part of the interface. So it is the intersection of a row and a column. So as we discussed already, that a column runs from top to down, and then a row runs from left to right. So when they intersect, it creates a space called cell. So each cell is identified by its column, letter, and row number. That is, the very first cell in the upper left-hand corner is called A1 because A is coming down, and then row 1 is also moving to the right. So they intersect there. So we will give it a name A1. Then just below A1 is A2 because column A is still coming from the top, and then row 2 have intersect with it. So it's called A2. Just to the right of A1, the right of cell A1 is B1 because column B is coming down, and then row 1 is also moving to the right. So they meet there or they intersect there. So that is called B1. So just below B1 is also B2 and so on. So as we have colored these cells, I'm giving the opportunity to all of us to identify or give names to the painted cells that we have. So can anyone give us the name of the blue cell? You can also write it in the comment section. Yes, anyone ready?
Yeah, hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, please. That's cell A1.
Okay, so that is cell A1. So let's look at the next color, which is red. What will be the name of that particular cell? Go ahead.
Yeah, that's cell C3.
That is correct. So let's have it here. We have cell A1, we have cell C3, we have cell E6, and then we have cell F4. So those are the intersections, and those are the name. So remember that a cell combines the name of a column and then the name of a row. That is a cell. And that is the name that will be given to that cell. Let's move on to the interface once again. And we will look at about four parts of this interface. So the first thing that we have to look at is the title bar. So the title bar will give you the name that you have saved for your document. In case we are working and we save this document, because we'll be working with a lot of documents, maybe for a school, for hospital, for all other things, a lot. Even within the school, we have particular department and all those things. So you have to be given a title to each workbook that you have created. And the default, in case you have not created or saved a file yet, when you open the Excel, you have Microsoft Excel 1. So that is, look at the name box. Name box, it is very crucial because we have a lot of cells. You can go down, 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 and click on a particular cell. Like the previous thing that we talked about, you combine the name of the column and then the row. When you go about 1,000 row and then you go to column ABB, you will find it very difficult to combine the row and then the column before you get the cell name. But the name box is there to help us. So anytime you click on a particular cell, all that you have to do is to go to the name box. As you can see, the part of the name box. When you click on any cell at all, the name box will give you the name of that particular cell. No need to combine the row and then the column before you get the name. The name box is there to help you. Then we look at active cell. When we say active cell, it is the current cell that is being selected and ready for data to be entered. So as you can see, that is selected, the black cell that is selected there, that is A3, is the active cell. So anytime you want to enter a data, you must click on the cell which you want the data to be before you enter the data. The next thing we will look at is the formula bar. So anytime you have a data in a particular cell and when you click on that cell, everything, every content in that cell appears in the formula bar. So you can edit the text in the in your Excel through the formula bar, or you can just click on the cell, then you go to the formula bar and type whatever you want to type there. So other parts are there. We will leave them for now. Then we move on to the types of data that can be entered into a cell. We move on to the type of data that can be entered into a cell. We have test data. Test data that we can use maybe names or labels. Example, John, Mac. So in case maybe you have or you want to create a register for the student or create their assessment and score them, there are parts that you have to, the data type that you can enter, that part will contain only the names. And then we have numbers, data type that are used for the calculation. So you use the number data type to enter your scores, and that is what you use for the calculations of the grade of the student. So example, we have equal sum A5, that is A5 plus 10 multiplied by 10%. That is a sample of calculation that we can do with the data type numbers. Then we have dates. So we can also insert or type dates in a cell for tracking or for reminders. Then we also have a data type called symbols. Example, the US dollar sign, the euro, and then the CD sign. We can also insert those symbols as a data type in our cells. Then we look at data entry. So data entry is just a process of typing or inserting information into Excel cells. So that is data entry. You can enter data into cell using your keyboard, your mouse, joystick, or any other thing. Now let's look at formulas. They start with the equal sign and it activates calculation. So every formula that you have to write must start with the equal sign. Must start with the equal sign. It is not like the normal ones that we do in our book, that maybe you want to do a calculation, then you write 2 plus 4 minus 3 equals, then the answer will come. In Excel, if you want to do calculations, you must start your formula or you must start everything with equal sign. And that will tell the Excel that, okay, this person wants to do calculations. So we use cell references that will create a dynamic result for us. So assuming we have student scores in the various cells, and then you know that there is 15 in cell A1, and then 20 in cell B1, and you want to add them. It is not good for us to use maybe equals the 15 plus what? 20. Because later, when the input changes, it means that we have to change the result ourselves. So we must create or use cell reference. So instead of using the 15 in cell A1, it is rather good to use the cell name A1 in your calculation or in your formula, so that as soon as anything in the A1 changes, the result will change automatically. Then we look at functions. Functions are built-in formulas that saves time. Example, sum, bracket open, that add numbers. So instead of using equals sum A1 plus B2 plus this, you can just use the range to do that. Then we have average. And the sum also, the moment you type equals sum, it means that you are telling Excel, or Excel will know that, okay, what we are trying to do or whatever will be inside the bracket, I'm going to sum them up for you. And that is what Excel will do. It means you are invoking the sum function. Also, average. Maybe you want to find the age average of maybe 20 people. So instead of writing the ages one by one up to the 20 and then dividing it by what? The 20, you don't have to do that. You just have to invoke the function called equals average, and whatever is inside the bracket, Excel will find average for you. Then we have also count. So in case you don't know the exact number of employees that you have in your Excel sheet, you can use the function count, and whatever is inside the bracket, Excel will count the number of people of or item or anything in the sheet for you. You don't need to count them by yourselves. Now let's look at how to start or launch Microsoft Excel. How to start or launch Microsoft Excel. So number one, Windows computer or laptop. So if you have the Excel software, Excel itself is part of the Microsoft Office. And inside the Microsoft Office, we have other applications like Access, PowerPoint, and Word, etc. So Excel is inside the Microsoft Office. So the moment you install Microsoft Office, Excel will be part of it. So method one, you just have to click on the Start menu on your computer or desktop, or you can just press the Windows key from your keyboard. Then you click on, or you type Excel. The moment you press the Windows key, a menu will pop up. So it's just like searching for the app. Then you type Excel, and then you click on Microsoft Excel when it pops up. So the olden days, or the way that people used to do it, is that, or the normal way, is to click on the Start button. You click on All Programs. You click on Microsoft Office. Then you click on inside Microsoft Office. Then you click on Microsoft Office Excel. And I think that is archaic, because when we were using Windows 7 and others, when you are using Windows 11, and you click on the start button, you may not see all programs. You have menus. So the best way is to just search for the application that you want to use, and it applies to any other app that you want to use. You just click on the start button and search the app, and then you have it. So the second one is using Excel Online. As we said, no installation. You just have to open your browser, and then you go to or type office.com in your search bar. Then if you have not signed in with Microsoft, you sign in and you just click Excel. Then you can start working. Now, before we go to our practical session, if you have any questions, you can ask before we continue. Thank you. So we are waiting for questions so that we can continue. And if there is no question, then we can start our practical work. Yes, please, we are waiting for questions.
Yeah, hello. Yeah, hello.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. Please, concerning entering the formulas.
Yeah.
Um, like, is there any shortcut that you can use to enter any formula of your choice?
Of your choice.
Yeah.
Okay, so about the formulas, we look at the inbuilt one, which is the sum, and then average, product, count, square root. A lot of them are there for us to use. Okay, and then those are the inbuilt one, and you can write complex formulas by yourself. And let me say, there is no shortcut. The shortcuts are the inbuilt ones. So you can write the complex formulas by yourself by gradually writing it in the Excel. For example, we have some examples in the practical that we want to do. So when we get there, but for now, the only shortcut is to use the inbuilt ones. Please, are you answered?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Okay. Let's have two more questions so that we can move on. Is there any other question? Okay. So if no other question, let's all open. Prince, Prince.
Please, no question.
Yeah.
No, I don't have any question, please.
So we can go ahead with the practical work, right? Okay. Okay, so this is something simple that we'll be building for our practical work. As you can see, we have some formulas at the background that we do one after the other. So maybe this is what EBI sample or simple sales management template. So we have product ID, we have the description, we have the unit price of the product, we have the quantity, then we have the subtotal, and then we have VAT, we have total payable. So this is like when you go to shopping malls or Melcoms, you'll see that they have been using some software that doesn't give them stress. They just scan the product that you pick and automatically everything will be calculated for you. So this is similar to what, but their own is complex. But as we come back to back, we will do a lot of work and master the Excel. So for example, maybe I have my items in my shop. I have the unit price of each of this one. So as you can see, there is nothing here at first. So the moment I enter the unit price, you can see that some things have started calculating. Okay. Then maybe if I enter the quantity, you see that things have started changing automatically. That is dynamic calculation or automated calculation. So everything will be calculated. So all that we need is what? The quantity that the person picked from our shelves, and then Excel will do the rest. That is what we are going to do. So please, let's all launch our Excel so that we can begin. Let's launch the Excel so that we can begin. So I'm going to create a new one. I'm going to create a new one so that we can all start together. Please, are we good to go? If there is any
Yes,
challenge, quickly let us know before we continue. Okay, so let me start my own also. Going to create a new one. So this is the sheet I've talked about. This is sheet 1, or this can be sheet 2. This is sheet 1, and then I can add a sheet here if I want. And then as you can see, let's look at the name box. This is the name box. I've just clicked on this cell and then it has changed to what? D14. So I don't need to match the row and the column. This is the title bar. I've named it EBI Practical. So let's start work. I'm creating a new sheet so that I can start all over. So it depends on where you start your work from. I'm going to start from this place. That is B4. And then before that, I'm going to set my font to Times New Roman. And then I'm going to set the size to, let's say, 14. That is what I'm going to use. So I'm starting from B4. So I have my products. The lab. So I have my product ID. Then I have my description. Then I have unit price. Then I have quantity. Please, if you have any challenge, let us know so that we can rectify it because we are all moving together. So I have my quantity.
Please, I can't see the screen from your end.
Please come again. Okay.
I said I can't see the screen from your end. I don't know why. It just went off.
Oh. Is it the same for all of us or the rest of the people?
Yeah, actually, it's the same. It's the same. We are seeing only the old screen. The new screen you're working on, we can.
Okay. Then I have to go back. Just a minute. Okay. Please, can you see?
Yeah.
Okay. So I've opened a blank or a new sheet. So we are starting all over. So I'm starting from cell B4. So I have my product ID. Then I move on to the next cell. In case you type the product ID and you see that it have shifted to, the text have shifted to the cell BSC4, all that you have to do is to move your mouse to this place. It will change to this type. You double click and then it will stretch it for you. Then we have description. The same thing, you just move. You can do all of them at the same time without doing it one after the other. So I'll leave it, and when I finish typing, I'll do all of them at the same time. So I move on to product description. Then I have my unit price. Then I move on to the quantity. Then I move on to the SAP total. Then I move on to the VAT. The VAT will be, okay, I use 5% on the one that I've created. If we can still use the 5, or somebody will give us a percentage to use. So we are still using the 5%. Then I have the total payable. So that is that. I've typed my headings, finish. So as you can see, the tests are messy, and then you can see that some of them have elapsed into the other. So all that you have to do is to click here, this particular place. When you click there, it's going to select the entire sheet for you. So I'll click, all of it has been selected. Then I'll just go to any of the lines that are separating the columns, these ones. So when I go here, the cursor will change like this. All that I need to do is to double click on it, and all of them will be faced for us. So that is it. If I want, I can bold this and others, but for now, let's leave it. That will be formatting that we can do some other time. So please, can we continue?
Yes.
All right. Now, so we go the product ID. This particular part, we want to use ordinary text so that, okay. So already when you come here, when you come to this session, that is the number. We have other data type here. You see the general, we have number, currency, accounting, short date, long date, and all those things. These are some of the data type that we talk about. So the default one is general. So we are going to input some product ID there. So first one will be 101. Then we have 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107. So we stop here. Maybe when we meet some other time, you can generate a form that will be adding automatically the product ID description and everything as we like a new stock entry. A form can do that for us so that we don't type it manually. So God willing, when we meet the next time, we will be doing all these things one after the other. So I'm done typing my product IDs. Then I move on to the descriptions. So the first thing I'm going to type is tin milk. And then tin milk, we can have different ones with different unit price. We can have maybe the small size with each different price and the size or the gram. So all, even the 2 or 3 can be on the same sheet. But for now, we are using 450 gram. So we have 450 gram. Then I move on to the next one. If you don't want to use the mouse to click on the cell, you can use the arrow keys on the keyboard, the top, down, left, and right arrow keys. That will be taking you through the cells. You can use those arrow keys. That will be faster. So we have good butter. Good butter. And then the size is 500 gram. Then we move on to, using the arrow key, we move on to ginger bread. Then we move on to eggs. Then we move on to Cindy rice. Then we move on to oat. So Cindy rice. 2 kg. So what I was talking about in the presentation. So I've typed Cindy rice here. So I forgot to add what? The 2 kg. So I can come to the formula bar here and then just add the 2 kg to it. 2 kg to it. Then we are good to go. Then we have the oats is 700 gram. Oats is 700 gram. And then the last item is Lipton pack. So as we can see, some of the descriptions have overlapped and then entered into the unit price. So actually it has not entered into the cell, but it has just covered it. It is not part of that cell. So what we have to do is to just do it once and for all. So we come to this place and then we click here. That will select the entire sheet. Then we go to this place. We just double click on it and everything will be fixed for us again. All right. So here we are going to give unit price to all the items that we have. So we can use maybe unit price like 10. Then this will be, let's say 20. This will be, okay, so the gingerbread too, I've not add the size to it. So the size is 1 kg. So I can either double click inside this cell and add the kg to it like this, or I can go to what? The formula bar and do it. Okay. Then this bread is going to be, let's say 70. Then we have eggs. That one too should be a pack. So egg will be 65 cedi, 65. Then Cindy rice will be 220. Then we have the oat will be 60 cedi, and then the Lipton will be 32 cedi. All right. So can we continue from here? Please, can we continue from here?
Yes, 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 we
Yeah,
can.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay, so now there is something that we have not done and it is intentional. So here, the unit price, are we using dollar, euro, or cedis? We have to indicate it here. So now we are going to use CD for now. So that is what I have to add to the unit price so that we know the currency that these products are in. So I'll click here, I'll double click, then I'll just give a space and then add my GH and then the CD sign. The CD sign, if you are using a desktop, with that keyboard that have the numbers at the right side, if you are using that one, there's a shortcut for inserting the CD sign. That is, you press the Alt key and then type 155. Alt 155. If you are using that type of keyboard, the ones that have the numbers at the right side, you just hold the Alt key and then type 155, and then the CD sign will come. But if we don't have it, we have to insert it by ourselves. So after typing the GH, we go to insert on the insert tab here. So when we go there, we come to symbols here. So remember we mentioned symbols as one of the data types. So we click on the symbols here. Then we click on symbols or symbol. So the symbol signs will come, and then the one we are looking for, let's say Ghana City, this one, this particular one. So you click on it, and then you click on insert. You click on insert. Then after that, you close this dialog box. So as we can see, the city sign has been inserted for us. So we enlarge this, then we have it. Unit price, GH, city sign. Okay, so for now, we are going to start writing the formulas so that anytime the person pick the item from the shelf, then we just enter the quantity of these items listed here, or the products listed here. We just enter the quantity that the person picks, and all calculations will be done dynamically. Please, are we good to go? Please, are we good to go? All right.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So here we are going to write a formula to, calculate for the subtotal. And we know that, or let me ask, so if you are selling tin milk and then the unit price is 10 Ghana City, and then maybe the person pick 2 of these. So what would be the formula to calculate? Or how are we going to know? Yes, let's go this way. What would be the formula to know the amount that the person will pay? Just here, we have the unit price and the person picked 2 of this item. What would be the formula for calculating that particular total for the person? Yes. Yeah, go ahead, please.
All right. So at the subtotal cell, the
Yeah.
column, the cell for where we put where we insert the data will be, we will press the equal sign, then the cell, the tin milk, that is it cell. Let me increase my distance so that I can see it. All right. Okay. Hold on a minute. Okay. So that would be we'll put equal sign in the cell G. So G5. No, subtotal. Yeah. So G5.
Okay. Before that, where did you start your work from?
Okay. So we want the subtotal for tin milk, right?
Yeah.
So the subtotal will be the cell D5 times. Mine is very small. We'll multiply the quantity, the unit price times the quantity. Then that will give us a sum total. That's what I can say.
Okay, so like in Excel, we know that Excel has rules.
Yeah.
Okay, so you said that we should multiply what?
So
The
we'll multiply the unit price times the quantity to give us a subtotal.
that is how we do it in manually in our shop. So in
Yes.
Excel formula, how will the Excel formula be?
So
And which cell are we going to
so
put
the
that
Excel
in?
formula. Okay, so we'll put the formula in the subtotal cell. The subtotal column, the cell that correspond to the tin milk. That's the ID number 101. That is, and then we'll put equal sign.
So what will be
Then
the name of that cell?
that will be A B C D E F, cell F5.
Okay, don't struggle to do that. You can just click
Okay.
on the cell and then you see the name of the cell in that the name box as we discussed earlier. So just click on
Exactly.
it and go and look at the name box, and the name of that cell will be given to you.
So all right.
Are we
Thank
good?
you. Yeah, we are
Okay.
good.
All right. So let's continue. So we are going to put the formula here and or the function, and where we put the formula, that is where the answer will be. Okay. So we are going to put equals sum, or okay, let's use the function because we talk about some functions already. We talk about sum, product, count, and so on. So this particular calculation we want to do is what? It's a product, right? It's a product because it's multiplication. Since it is multiplication, it's a product. So we can invoke the product function, right? So I'm going to type equals product like this. So as you start typing, you can see there's the functions that are inside. So product equals product into brackets. So what am I multiplying? I want this particular cell. I'll just click on it because I want to use that one in my calculation. So that is D5. Then my comma will come. What else do I want to? Since we are using the unit price and the quantity, and then the quantity will be inside cell E5. So
Yeah,
I'll just
E5.
my bracket like this. Are we good? So the formula is going to be equals product because we want to multiply the unit price by the quantity. So we use equals product, that is D5. Okay, so we know that the unit price is 10, but we don't want to use the 10, we want to use the surname. Okay, so equals product D5 and then E5. Then when I press the enter key, I'll get my answer, which is 10. It is 10 because we have not entered the quantity yet. Okay, we have not entered the quantity yet. Okay, all right. So in case maybe you want to write your own formula, you can also use, let's say, equals, you can use the sum, or you can leave without using any of the function. You can also use equals bracket open, this multiply. The multiplication is the star 1. This multiply by cell E5. Let's try that and see if it will work. Okay, so that is it. So this place is what? 0, right? Because we have not entered anything, which is 0. That is why we got 0. So let's try and enter something and see. Let's enter 1. So when we enter 1, it works for us also. Okay, so you can, this formula is also good, but it's not good enough if you want to build a strong Excel function, okay, or Excel system. So we are not going to use this one. This one is too basic. We are going to use the product one, equals product, bracket open, this, comma, this. Then we close. All right. So that is the example. So we are going to remove the quantity for now. Okay. So let's move on to the VAT. Let's move on to the VAT. So the VAT, it will be on the subtotal. And VAT is plus. If you go to a shop and you buy item that worth 100 cedi and they add VAT to it, you are going to pay more than the 100 cedi. And discount is minus. So it means that we are going to add something to the subtotal. Okay. So now we have to write a formula for the VAT also, and the formula is going to be here. So we are going to sum the subtotal plus the VAT. So we are going to use a formula equals sum, bracket open. We use this plus the VAT, this plus, so 5% is equivalent to 0.05, right? So F5 plus 0.05, 0.05, then we close our brackets. That is the formula for calculating for VAT. No, let me see. Coming. Okay, let me check this one and see. Okay, so it's going to be, let me see this guy. Okay, so let's calculate for the VAT. So it's going to be equals sum, bracket open, the subtotal, which is F5 multiplied by 0 0.0, 0. No, multiplied by 0.05. Okay, then we close the bracket. Let's look at the formula again. Equals sum, bracket open, F5, which contains the subtotal, then multiply by what? The VAT, which is 0.05. Then we close our bracket. So when you have this, 5% on 10 will be 50 pesos. So now before we continue, are we good up to this stage? Please, are we good up to this stage? Hello? Hello?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
we are good.
All right. So now let's go to the total payable. So we know the subtotal and then we know the VAT that you'll be paying on the subtotal. So now we are going to use another formula here. Equals sum, bracket open. So the subtotal itself is inside this cell. We will just select, click on it. That is F5 is also inside this cell. So we'll close the brackets and then we will, that will give us the total payable. So your subtotal plus the VAT will give you 10.50 CD. All right. So we have written the formula for all this. We don't have to go and then write the same formula for maybe the second item, the second product, and the third product, and so on. Okay. So all that we have to do is to select the first formula or the first answer that we got inside the subtotal. Then when it gets selected, at the corner of the selected cell, this one, I believe you can see that square. So currently you see how the mouse is looking at white. And then when you send it to that particular square, this small square, it will change to black. When it change to black, all that you have to do is to double click on it, and the rest of the formulas will be calculated for all this. So as you can see, when I click on this particular cell and look at the formula bar, the formula that I used for the first one has changed what? Now we are inside what? It was product D8, comma what? E8. And when I go to the last one, you see that inside the formula bar, it is now D11 and what? E11. So the same thing, the moment you are able to calculate for the first item, the VAT for the first item, the same way, you just click on this guy, and then the small square here, make sure it changes to black cross, double click on it, and this one will be complete for you. The same thing, we can come here. Then we just double click on this guy, and then everything will be calculated for us. So now we are going to do something also in addition. Let's say that maybe the person will give us money. Now we have to calculate for the total item. We know that each product have its total. So we have to calculate for all these products, which means we are going to add this guy up to this guy. Okay, that is what we'll be doing. So now let's come to the master part that will be doing or summarizing the calculations for us. So let's come to cell, let's say cell G13. So this G13, I'm going to type there, let's say grand total. Grand total, I'll be typing there like this, grand total. So after the grand total, I'll go to the next cell and then type amount paid or amount issued. Amount paid or amount issued. So amount issued. Then I'll go to the next one, which will be balance or change. Balance or change. Okay, so as you can see, overlaps here. So I'll just go to this place, click here, all sheets selected. I'll just double click on this and it will be faced. So now let's look at what these guys will be doing for us. So the grand total will sum all this guy for us. And then when you go to the amount issue, that is the amount the customer will be giving to you. Okay, it could be that the amount given to you is more than his total money. Okay, and then the balance or change, if maybe the amount given to you is more than the actual bill, then the person must get what? A change. And if the amount issued to you is less than the total cost or bill for the person, it means that that person must give you a balance. Okay, so can we continue from here? Please, can we continue from here? Okay, so now let's continue. So now we are setting all these formulas before we go and enter the quantity. Grand total. So when you come to the grand total, we are going to sum all these guys. All these guys, we are going to sum them. Okay. So now we come function. So we type a formula equals sum, bracket open. Okay. So this guy, we are not going to type the cell one after the other. Say maybe as plus what, H6 plus H7 and all those things. No, assuming the product are 100, we can do that. So we are going to use the range. The total payable is starting from cell H5. So we will use H5 as a starting point, and then wherever it ends, if it is H1000, we will end it there. So in our case, it starts from cell H5. So our formula is going to be equals sum. So H5. And one good thing about Excel is that wherever you mention a particular cell, the cell gets highlighted. It gets highlighted so that you know that you are choosing the right cell. But in case maybe, as you can see, it has chosen cell H5. So in case you type, let's say G5 for now, you see where the cell is being selected. And this guy is not part of our calculation. The calculation we want to do, G5, is not part of it. So you must be looking onto your work as you reference or select a particular cell so that we don't make a wrong calculations. So G5 is not part, so I'm going to remove it. So we have H5 there, so it gets selected. And then because we are going to use the starting point and then the H5, you to get the is to sign, you have to press the shift key. You press and hold the shift key, and then you look for the semicolon key and press it. That will give you the is to sign. And then the last point we want is what? H11. So we have H11. So as you can see, the cell or the range gets highlighted for us, which means that we are at the right path. So the formula is equals sum, bracket open, H5 is to H11. Now we close our brackets, then we hit the enter key. So the total gets calculated for us. Now let's move on again to the amount issued. So this is where any amount the person gives to us, we'll just type that amount here. So the next thing is what? The balance or the change. So we have to write another formula also here. Okay, so let's try this. Let's try this. So it's also going to be equals sum, bracket open. So the total will come. The total, which is H13. We have to call on H13, which is H13. It gets selected as we can see. Okay. And now, okay, so let's use this guy first. Let's use the H14 because we'll be subtracting the total from the total from what the person will be giving to us. So let's use this guy rather. So it's going to be So H12, that is no okay, H14. So it gets selected. That is where the amount given to us we put there. So H14 minus the total, which will be H13 here. So that one to get selected. The formula again is equal sum, bracket open, H14 minus H13. So we close our bracket. Then we hit our enter key. So negative. So we have negative 500.85 because the amount the person is supposed to give to us, the person have not given anything to us yet. Okay. So now let's go and then enter the quantity. And this is where all the magic or all the automation calculation will be, done. So we are going to ask somebody to enter our shop and shop for us so that we can enter the quantity. So one person will enter the shop and this product, the person will pick some of them for us so that we can have our dynamic calculation. So who will do that for us? Mr. Nana Kofi, can you do that for us? Can you come into our shop and buy some things for us? Hello? Okay, Mr. Sam.
Pieces of tin milk.
Okay, that will be 15. So I'm writing it so that I can switch to the next screen and then enter them. Let's continue. So this is for one person. Okay. So when another person comes, it's a different thing. Okay. All right. So 15 tin milk. Yes.
And then I'll buy 5 of the good butter.
Okay, let's continue.
5 pieces, and then I'll buy 10 gingerbread.
Okay.
And then 8 egg pack.
Okay.
And then 16 candy rice.
All right.
And then 5 oats.
Okay.
And then Lipton, I'll buy 10 pieces, 10 pack.
All right. So let's go and enter this quantity into our system and see. All right. So you said 15 tin milk. So let's enter 15 there. So the moment we enter the 15, you see that everything has changed, right? Everything has changed. So the first one, the total payable is now 157.5, right? And as you can see, the grand total to have changed. And then the balance or change portion to have also changed, right? So now let's go to the next one. So we have 5, right? 5 good butter, good butter. So 5, we enter 5, then we see that everything has changed again, right? So when we build this system, all that we need is the quantity of the item that the person will come and buy. And then we don't need to stress ourselves. Okay, so we move on to the next one. You say you are buying 10 gingerbread. We enter, everything changes. Then we have egg. Egg, you say you are going to buy 8. So we enter 8. Everything changes. You can monitor the subtotal and then the VAT and then the total payable for egg. Let's monitor it and see what will happen. So I enter it. When I move, so When I move, then we have, and then the total payable is what? Okay. So as you can see, the subtotal was what? 520. And then when we calculate VAT, 5% VAT Ghana cedi. So the subtotal plus what? Which is 520 plus what? The VAT, which is 26, will give us what? 546. So it
546.
means that our system is working correctly. So we move on to the next one. The next one, you say you are buying Cindy rice, 16, 2 kg baku baku 16. I guess we are going to use it for 2 years. So that will be 16. Okay. So that will be 16. The same thing, everything changes. Now we move on to the oats. Oats is 5. Then we move on to Lipton. That one you say you are going to buy 10, and everything changes. So now your bill is 5,890.5.
90.50.
That is your total bill, right?
Yeah.
That will be your total bill. Okay. So now this one, as you can see that in actual amount, we're supposed to have a comma after the 5, right?
Yeah.
So we can do that also. We can fix that. All that we have to do is to select, maybe even from here. We can select from here, and even this one too, we can do it for all this thing. So let's do it from here. We can select from here up to this place. Then we go to the, make sure you are the home tab. So when you reach here, then you can select, after that, you can click on the comma sign. Okay. You can click on the comma sign, or you go to the data type and then use, let's say, um, okay. So when you use the accounting, it will give you the dollar sign. We don't want that. So let's quickly use the comma sign for the meantime. So I'll use the comma 1. So our subtotal has changed. You see that we have the comma there. That is 3,520. So we can do the same thing here. If it is more than 1,000 or it's up to 1,000. So I will select this one up to this place, and then also, then I'll use the comma style. So that will give us, we see that now we have the comma coming, and I can select all these guys from here up to here. I'll just use the comma sign. Then we have this. Okay. All right. So now let's continue. So how much are you going to issue to us? Your bill
Okay.
is 5,890.50. So how much are you going to issue
All
to
right.
us?
So I'm paying with 6,000 Ghana cedis.
Okay, so I'll enter 6,000 Ghana cedi. So when I enter 6,000 Ghana cedi, you see that automatically the balance or change aspect have also changed. Okay, so you are
Yeah.
giving us 6,000. The 6,000 you are giving us is more than your total bill. So we have to give you a change, right?
Yeah.
So when you subtract this one, you have a change of 109.50 Ghana cedi, right? That will be your
Yes.
change. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So let's try, maybe you don't have up to the amounts payable. So let's say you have only 5,000, right?
Yeah.
You have only 5,000. I've entered the 5,000. So we have, if we don't use the comma star here, we are supposed to have negative, right? Okay, so it's inside the bracket. When you use the 5,000, you have it inside the bracket, which is telling us that it is negative, right? Please, are we good?
Yeah, we are good.
But if you don't want to use the comma sign, the comma star, this one, if you don't want to use this one, if you remove it from here, then you get what? The negative straight, okay? you get a negative straight. Because we are using what? The comma style, it is giving it to us in what? A 5,000. You are going to get it bracket, which is what? Negative.
Yeah.
So you are owing us what? You are going to,
890.
yes. Okay. But let's use your 5,000, your 6,000.
Yes. So that you rather owe me
And I'll give you a change of
109.
109.50. Okay.
Yeah.
At this,
After the class, then you momo it to me.
no problem. Okay. So now, is there anything that we want to ask from here? Because we are going to generate a small chart here. Are we all good up to this point?
Yeah.
Okay. So if we are good, this is just something small we are doing. So assuming you have a large data like this, a lot of people coming in and out like this, then a lot of quantity has gone out. So we want to just, after the sales, today's sales or weekly sales, we want to see the product that is selling more, the product that is selling more from our shop, so that we can make a decision on it. So we want to generate a chart to show that, right? Okay. So now let's see, we have these 7. Yes. Okay. Okay. Last 5 minutes. Hey, the message have not come. Last 5 minutes. And I should end it so that we continue next time. Yeah. Okay. So now if we want to find the product that is selling more in our shop, let me make this one quick. I just want to select this one, these items that I have here. I'll select them, and then I'll hold the control key, and then I'll also select the quantity here, because we want to see the product that is moving fast. Okay. So when I select this set range, I'll go to insert, and then we have a chart here. We have a chart here. After you click on the insert, we have charts here. So you click, the charts are here. We can use maybe bar chart. I'll click on the bar chart, and then I will choose the one that I want to use. Okay, so I'll just click on this one, and then I have options to choose. Let's say, let me use this guy. Let me use this guy. Okay, so this is how to generate a simple chart. So this is the chart. As we can see on the chart, we have the thin milk, the good butter, and so on. So which one is the tallest bar here? Which one is the tallest bar here? Okay, it seems like Tin Milk and then what? Cindy are almost the same. But Cindy is what? 16. Okay, so let me change the Cindy to, let's say, 20, and see if the chart will also change. Okay, as you can see, the chart has also changed automatically. So this is how to create a dynamic or automated what? Excel template. So Cindy Rice has shoot what? 20, right? It means people are buying more Cindy rice. So we need to order more as a decision that will be taken. So I'll end it here, and then God willing, if we have the chance, we will do something. We will either continue or we'll do something different the next time we meet. Thank you very much. Madam, please, I'm done. So
week we will be here. And I want to say, forgive us for the time, but the session was so good. I didn't know how to end it. That is why. But forgive us for that. If nothing, thank you guys for joining us. And so next week, we will be here for our STEAM after hours. All the best. Thank you guys.